perfectly crispy on the outside and then perfectly moist on the inside. So, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you're celebrating this year, I hope you are getting to spend time with family and getting to enjoy some food, because that's what I love most about food, is it brings people together. It's a way to gather and feel close and warm with the people that you love. So I'm gonna show you today how to make the perfect charcuterie board for your holiday gathering. And this is gonna be so good that it's gonna leave your guests saying, yeah, we're going back over to their house next year because that board was off the charts. So let me show you some recipes that I have enjoyed growing up, some Southern dishes that have been traditions in my family. But on this charcuterie board, they're gonna be made with a little bit of a twist because they're gonna be in finger food form. So I'm gonna do a little twist on sweet potato souffle, a little twist on Brussels sprouts, and a couple of other things that you're just gonna have to stay tuned to find out. So all of these things are gonna be so good. So go down below, get the ingredients, hit the subscribe button while you're there, and let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back, and we're gonna get started with the first recipe for our charcuterie board, and that is gonna be our sweet potato slices. So this is my spin on sweet potato souffle, and that's because my mom always makes sweet potato souffle with a nut toppings and marshmallows on top, and it is just so divine. It's one of my favorite things to eat on the holidays, and so this is my finger food twist on that, which is sweet potato slices, and we are gonna put, get this, goat cheese on top and cranberries. I'm just telling you, if you haven't had those before, your socks are about to get blown off because man, are they good. So all you wanna do to start off is you wanna start cutting your sweet potatoes into nice slices, not too thick and not too thin. You wanna have a good consistency so that when you pick them up, they're not gonna be so thin that they're just gonna flop right over. So you want them to be thick enough, thicker than a chip. So right about this thickness is what you want to cut them to be. And depending on how many guests you have coming is gonna depend on how many slices you want to put out. Okay, so we're getting to a good place with our little slices here. We're gonna start putting these on our cooking sheet, like so. Yes. Okay, want a little bit more because I'm gonna leave the other half of my sheet for my Brussels sprouts. And I'll show you guys how I make that in just a second. Right, so we have now cut up enough of our sweet potato slices. Those look fantastic. And we are now gonna take some olive oil. This is the version that I got from Whole Foods because I love me some Whole Foods. It's so good. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our goat cheese after they have cooked in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how thick your slices are. And we are gonna take them out and put goat cheese on top. Look at this brand. I got this from Whole Foods. I have tried this one before and it is so good. It is goat cheese with wild blueberry, lemon, and thyme. So I'll put a link below to that specific brand. So if you want to get the exact ingredients, all of them are going to be linked below. So we are good right now on our sweet potatoes. Now what we want to start doing is we want to prep our Brussels sprouts to go into the oven with our sweet potatoes. And the reason I am doing Brussels sprouts is because one of my dad's signature dishes is making Brussels sprouts in a cast iron skillet and roasting them on the grill. Now, I don't have a grill, and I do have cast iron skillet I could put them in the oven with, but for cleaning's sake and for time, I'm gonna put them on the same sheet as my sweet potatoes. So just to save some time, you know what I mean? I'm a single girl. I gotta clean my own dishes, wash my own clothes, create a beautiful home, pay all my bills, and have multiple revenues of income. So I'm gonna try to minimize as little cleaning of dishes as I can do, which I'm not complaining about that lifestyle at all. I love what I do more than anything. I could not imagine doing anything other than being a producer and creating shows and telling stories and working on commercials, and then getting to be a YouTuber and do that on the weekends and work on that late at night I'm living my dream. Like, I am doing what I love, and I wake up every morning just being grateful for the opportunities that I have had. I feel very blessed. And especially during this time of year, during Thanksgiving, it's important to take time to realize how much we have to be thankful for. And that is definitely something I am thankful for. Okay, so in honor of Dad, we are making finger Brussels sprouts. And how, you might ask, are we gonna make this finger food worthy? Well, I'm gonna include some toothpicks, and I'm gonna put our little Brussels sprouts in a bowl on our charcuterie board. And then with the toothpicks, your guests can come along and pick the Brussels sprouts with a toothpick, and then it becomes a perfect finger food. A perfect finger food for the holidays. Man, this is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so tasty. I want these to be pretty much cooked before I add the goat cheese on top and before I add the cranberries and the walnuts, because those things will cook very, very quickly. So I don't want to add them too early into the process and then they'll get burned, because that would not be good. I love the colors that we have right now, because think about this. We're gonna put more on our charcuterie board, and this is already so lovely and festive. So imagine what our charcuterie board is gonna look like when it's just decored with all these other ingredients. So charcuterie board is one of my favorite things to make for gatherings. So okay, so now that we're letting that cook for a second or bake in the oven, I'm gonna show you guys how to make deviled eggs. And we're gonna make enough for out of 6 eggs and see where that gets us. Because what my Aunt Bonnie always brings to family get-togethers is deviled eggs. And I love that because I only eat deviled eggs during the holidays, during Christmas and during Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna include deviled eggs on my charcuterie board because, of course, it reminds me of the holidays and this time of year and family traditions. So deviled eggs will be cut in half like so. And I think deviled eggs is a fun recipe too, because the more I have worked with people from New York and LA, and I work with people from all over that don't live or originally did not live in the South. And through doing that, I have realized that deviled eggs is a very Southern recipe. I think when you grow up eating a certain thing, you just kind of like assume as a kid that that's part of everybody's menus on the holiday. But the truth is, it's not. There's such a wide variety of different types of food that families enjoy this time of year. So that's why I really want to show this one, because it truly exemplifies a Southern dish, you know, not something that you have really in other parts of the country. Yum. We're so close. We're almost there. Oh no, I broke this one in half. Oops. Well, you won't make it into the IG photo, buddy. It's okay. You can hang out there. Hey, there we go. Okay, so now we have some little nests to put our mixed, whipped up yolk back in after we mix it. So what you want to do is, the best thing to use here is a spoon, or I'm sorry, a fork. So you want to mash up your yolks like so, and keep working it around. And a lot of these recipes are gonna tell you to put like 1/3 cup of mayonnaise in it. First off, not gonna use mayonnaise. I'm gonna use my Veganese soy-free mayonnaise. This is vegan mayonnaise, so it is dairy-free, it is egg-free. I'm not opposed to eating eggs, of course, but I do try to avoid dairy as much as possible. I know there's gonna be cheese on this charcuterie board, but that is the only replacement that I just have not been able to find, is like true cheese, like a cheese cube that tastes like a cheese cube, but it's vegan. So I haven't found that yet. If you have any ideas of a real tasting cheese cube that's not real cheese, that it's vegan cheese, let me know, because I will go buy it and I will taste test it and I will let you know what I think, because I have been trying lots of different options and I've just never found one that is it. But I am a cheese connoisseur, okay? I love cheese. I'm gonna take a spoonful of Veganese mayonnaise, like so, and dollop that in there. My spoonful was not quite full. So I would say like a tablespoon is what you want to start with. And keep in mind, this is for 6 eggs. So start with that and see where we get. If we can get like a nice whipped consistency just by having 1 tablespoon in there, and it's still gonna taste amazing, then that's all you need. Not necessarily like a 1/3 cup. So, like I said, these are all improvised versions of my own take on these recipes that I have so enjoyed, that my family has cooked and prepared throughout the years. Look how creamy this is already getting. I'm gonna use my fork, scrape this off. Oh, it's looking so good. So we are gonna take some icing bags and we are going to try and attempt to make a beautiful swirl on top. Perfect. So let me add a wee bit of salt. Here's my salt box, there it is. Let me just add a wee bit of salt, because salt should be a dash in most all recipes. Okay, close up our mayonnaise. Veganese mayonnaise, it's great. I really enjoy it. I've actually eaten it for years because my mom is allergic to dairy and eggs, like really allergic, not like a dietary choosing. But so that's why I have pretty much eaten Veganese my whole life. And I just really have grown to love it. Like, it tastes just as good as regular mayonnaise to me. Although I'm not eating mayonnaise by itself, you know what I mean? All right. Nice. Okay. All right, so now we have this all worked to the tip, like so. And so now we can start decorating our little eggs and creating our little swirls. No pressure. No pressure that I'm doing this on camera, but it's gonna look so good. All right. Whee! You have to make that sound while you're doing this to make it extra exciting. Bloop. Oh, look how cute he is. All right, let's do another one. Nice. Okay guys, so we are done with our little deviled eggs. Aren't they so cute? Okay, so now we can slide these to the side for right now. Tilt my camera back up like so. Perfect, okay. Now the oven just went off, and so that means it's time to check on our sweet potatoes and our Brussels sprouts. Ooh. Guys, look how good these look. Okay, so here we go. This is the part where we start to have some fun. Well, we've been having fun. Look at how this is looking, guys. All we want to do is add some garnishing and call it a day. I'm just gonna add a little bit of my more salt to my Brussels sprouts here. And then I'm gonna take our goat cheese and get ready to start putting this onto our sweet potatoes. Oh, look at that. Sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes. I just had to snag a little goat cheese, if you know what I mean. Oh my goodness. And then we're gonna put this back in the oven for only about maybe 5-8 minutes. We're gonna really keep our eyes on it just because we don't want to burn these. We don't want to overdo it. And we just want to have enough to make the cheese melt and enough to make the walnuts just a little toasty. We're gonna put cranberries on top of each sweet potato. And see how these are already dried? That's what I mean by it won't take much longer. A little bit of honey on all of our sweet potatoes. Just a little drizzle. On this side, woo, hello, waterfall of walnuts. A little walnut container, isn't that so cute? Okay, so now we are ready to put this back in the oven for just a few more minutes. So let me grab my mitt and let's put these guys back in for about 5 minutes. Okay, take it from me, guys. I have learned that the best place to create your charcuterie board and put all the elements on it is the location that your guests are gonna be enjoying it and picking it up from. So that is why I'm gonna station it here and I'm gonna show you how I put it all together. So let's go. All that close-up footage of the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts was not recorded. So, you know, sometimes that happens when you're creating your own content. So I apologize that you guys missed all that beautiful footage, but I'm gonna compensate in this charcuterie board. Hey, that means that they're ready. Promised, our board is coming together nicely. The Brussels sprouts are already in a bowl, and go ahead and put your toothpicks in a couple of them so that your guests know how they're gonna get them out of the bowl and onto their plate. And then we got our deviled eggs, our sweet potatoes, and our bread because we wanna have something that has height on your table. And sometimes the best appetizer is just like some bread dipped in olive oil. So good. Okay, so we don't want to forget about our meat lovers out there in the world. And so that's why we're going to include some prosciutto. And I always like to weave in the prosciutto in the center and kind of use it almost like a garland. You know what I mean? Guys, that was an excursion to make this beautiful charcuterie board that is sure to make your friends and family rejoice. I'm certain of it. And I'm sure that there is something on this board that everybody in your friend group and family would love to enjoy. So now all that's left to do is to make a plate and see how this all tastes. I think I'm gonna go for this deviled egg first. add a little sweet potato. Let's put some Brussels sprouts on here. And then a little pickle to start off. Those little pickles from Whole Foods are so good. Oh my gosh. Those Brussels sprouts have just enough caramelized exterior where you get this perfect crunch, and it is so moist on the inside. The Brussels sprouts are a winner. Winner indeed. All right, now time for the deviled eggs. That grill seasoning on top. Packs just enough punch. Just enough punch. Okay. And then now we're gonna try. Our sweet potato slices with cranberries and goat cheese and honey I'm gonna need another one of those. Oh my gracious. The amount of flavor that is in one bite. Let me show you this. Let me just show you. The amount of flavor that is in this one bite. See the goat cheese and the raspberries and the cranberries and the sweet potato and the cinnamon and the honey. Yet it is not overwhelming. It's not overwhelming in the least. As a matter of fact, my palate is the opposite of overwhelmed. It is thanking me right now. It is saying, hallelujah, thank you for all these perfectly paired flavors. Perfectly paired flavors. These Brussels sprouts are so good. I gotta come back for more. Guys, I'm just telling you, not only was this fun to make, I just know that all of your guests are gonna enjoy this. Little deviled egg, look at him. So, I tell all of you this the same. Go down below, get the ingredients for all of these things. I'm gonna include links so that you can buy the exact items. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button so that you can get notified, and hit the bell button up at the top right so that you can get notified every week when a new video is posted, and we can do all things recipes, healthy, home, lifestyle, and keep hanging out together every single week. And making tasty things like this. It's not a good example. Keep making tasty Brussels sprouts like this. Look at that Brussels sprout. Perfectly crispy on the outside and then perfectly moist on the inside. So until then, I'll see you guys next week. Bye, y'all. Let's go for another pickle. So good. I have quite the feast right here in front of me. What am I gonna do with all this?